So now with the previous slides we discussed, you already have given the VC investors a great overview of your startup. So now it's time really to conclude your presentation with a funding request in terms of how much money you need and for what you need the money. Those are important. So you need to really clearly outline how much money you want to have and what milestones you want to achieve, technical as well as business milestones. So how do you do that? So usually you raise only as much as money you really need. You can maybe plan in a cushion of 20 to really maximum 50%, but try to only raise money that brings you to the next milestone. This is extremely important for that step. Secondly, start fundraising early enough. Depending on the fundraising climate you're in, it could take up to 6 months, but it could even take way longer, up to 1 year or even more, to really raise the money. Because right now, especially in today's market situation, it's way harder to raise money than it was 2-3 years ago. So keep that always in mind and keep your current situation in mind. Then highlight also a list of your existing investors. And finally, really consider if for the dilution you want to accept, so the percentage of your company you want to give away, you can really get that VC in. Does it match the target shareholding the VC wants to achieve? So usually VCs want to achieve a target shareholding between, let's say, 20 to 30%. Could be also 10%, depending on the VC. But can you really give that ownership of your company away to that VC? Is that possible from your side on? Because otherwise it doesn't make sense to speak to that VC. For example, if they want to have 40%, but you're not willing to give that away, it doesn't make sense to have that discussion in the first place. So check that even before you have the meeting with the VC. And then finally, you obviously have to calculate in and price in dilution. Dilution is usually higher for early stage startups, so calculate to give away between 20 to 30%. And that will obviously reduce after usually a Series B round, that you only give less dilution. Those are the most important points you should put into the fundraising slide. And for AI startups in that sector, really consider two elements. First of all, specify investments in AI development. So what do you want to achieve in regards to promote your AI? So that could be hiring new talents, expanding data sets, improving algorithms, so usually done through software engineers. The second part is the business side, which is unfortunately often forgotten, especially in early stages of the startup. You need to have a go-to-market strategy. You need to start talking to customers. You don't need to hire a sales team very often, but you need to prepare and understand the customers so that you can achieve product market fit and then really, have a sales engine to drive sales in the future. Those are the most important points. And with that said, I think you have really great chances to convince your VC investors of receiving funding, especially if it comes to AI startups operating in ClimateTech. I really hope that helped you. And there will be one more slide at the end, but I think those are the most important slides we have identified based on our research and work experience in venture capital, focusing on investments into AI startups operating in ClimateTech. With that said, I hope you enjoyed it and I wish you all the best for your fundraising efforts.